G'day everyone, welcome to this week's video. I know it's been a long time, so my apologies. I'll talk about that a little bit later. But today I've come out to Belmont in New South Wales, and I'm beside some new structures right along here. This morning I've come along to a place called the Fernley Track near Belmont, New South Wales. There's a number of interesting man-made structures around this area that I thought would be nice to be photographed with a nice sky or a sunrise in the background. We've got a little bit of colour starting to happen this morning, so hopefully I'll be able to capture an image or two here. As always, I'm going to go and get my camera set up now, and then I'll come back and have a chat to you once it gets a little bit lighter. As part of the completion of the new cycling track here, there's been this bridge built across the creek. I saw this a couple of weeks ago on an earlier visit, and I thought this would be a nice spot to come back to and get a unique composition of something a little bit different, a man-made structure that I really like the shapes in this bridge. My thoughts are to get a shot of this bridge arcing over this creek here, and then perhaps get some reflections, try and balance the shot out slightly. Got a little bit of colour in the background. I'm just going to grab a couple of shots now while I've got this early morning light. Well, we're still about 40 minutes from sunrise and starting to get some nice colour on the horizon and in the high cloud that we've got this morning. I've set up my composition here beside Colin Creek and the bridge running across the creek. What I'm going for here is just a little bit of balance, some contrast with the colours of the early morning sky, and then this beautiful arcing structure across the bridge. Got a little bit of reflection in the water this morning. It's quite still along the creek here. What I've actually done is I've moved around quite a bit this morning. I'm just working out what I'm actually going to exclude and include in this image. I just don't want any distractions. It's pretty much just going to be a straightforward composition of the arcing bridge going across the creek with some nice colour in the background. A nice simple shot to start off here this morning. This creek, Colin Creek, is actually quite interesting. It was actually during World War II that they actually excavated this creek out the entire length because they were worried about the Japanese Imperial Army landing on the beach further south at Belmont and making its way up towards Newcastle. So they excavated this creek right out to try and create anti-tank traps, and it's remained here ever since. It fills up with water out of the lake. And as I said, this is part of the newly completed Fernley Track from Newcastle to Belmont, and they've built a lot of interesting structures right the way along this track. So I'm going to photograph the creek here this morning in the early morning light, and then I'm going to do a dash up. There's another platform further up that I think's interesting, and try and get a couple of shots up there.
As it turned out, I didn't allow enough time to walk to the second location. By the time I'd arrived, the light had diminished. I waited another 2 weeks for suitable conditions to return to the main viewing platform. I arrived well before sunrise, and this allowed me to look around for compositions in the darkness before the light arrived. I never tire of being on locations, enjoying the outdoors and witnessing the start of a new day.
Well, I've lined up my first shot here this morning after walking around and doing what I normally do when we come to a new location like this. I just generally walk around with my camera and look for some compositions, and I've picked out a couple this morning now, so not much to do but sit back and wait for the light to happen. Got a little bit of colour starting to appear on the horizon. It's still quite early, but just a beautiful still morning here looking over Belmont Lagoon. These man-made structures, although they can be quite simple to photograph, they're hard to get right, and what I've looked for in this composition is something that will actually lead the viewer in and try and create a unique shot, something that hasn't been done before. What I've actually done is I've actually tried to simplify this shot as much as I possibly can. Because we've got a lot of leading lines with the handrails and these steel pipes going in different directions, I've come up to, and I've actually just got the actual main subject of the viewing platform in my foreground, and I'm going to use some of these pipes in the foreground as leading lines to lead the viewer into the shot. Have to be pretty careful here this morning. Quite a few cyclists using the track. We've just got some really nice sun rays just coming through on the horizon now, just breaking through that cloud, so I'm going to try and grab this shot while I've got some nice light. Got some beautiful reflections across the lagoon here. There's absolutely no wind whatsoever. And what I'm doing with my shots here is I'm quite wide. I'm at about 16 mil, and I'm just using my histogram and just making sure that I've got the exposure right across to the right without clipping any of the highlights, and then I'll raise up a lot of the shadows in post. That high cloud just starting to capture a little bit of the light. I'm not sure if I'm going to get as much light as I thought I would this morning, but nonetheless it's a cracking morning to be out here at Belmont Lagoon. We've just got some really nice cloud down behind me here, looking down the track. I'm going to try and get a shot, although this wasn't in my original plan. We've got some really nice colour down to the south. I'm going to aim back that way and see if I can get a shot. Sun's up here now at the Fernley track. I've had a good morning. I've got a couple of shots in and around the wetland here and enough to finish this vlog off. This is not actually my first time shooting along the Fernley track. I actually photographed the old railway tunnel further along the track here in 2018. This beautiful old tunnel is about 180 metres long and was built by hand. I'll leave a couple of those images shortly, and then the rest of the images from today's vlog. That completes my morning here at the Fernley track. As I said earlier in the video, I haven't done any videos for quite some time. I've had a bit of a break from YouTube, and the reason was that I just wasn't really up to uploading consistently. If I wasn't making quality videos or videos that I thought that you guys would enjoy, I'll still definitely be uploading landscape photography videos, but I'll only be doing it when I think I've got something valuable to share. The last thing I'd like to do is be waste your time or my time by consistently just going out and photographing anything just for the sake of trying to please the YouTube algorithm. I want to make decent content for YouTube in 2025. So moving forward with the channel, I think I'll be only uploading videos when I've got something valuable to share, something that I think you'll enjoy, and that for me as well, I'll enjoy going out and shooting. Certainly today at the Fernley track, shooting something different, these man-made structures, has been something that's really interested me for a long time. So I'm glad I finally got here to do it. For all my valued subscribers that stuck with me all the way through, I really appreciate your support. I hope you'll stick with me, as I think I've got some interesting stuff coming up. Guys, that completes this week's video. You know what to do if you've enjoyed this video. Do me a big favor, go down below, hit that thumbs up button. It really helps the channel out. If you're new here, you like what you see, please subscribe, tap the notification bell. You'll be notified when I upload my next video. Comments or questions, leave them below. I'll always respond. Hopefully I'll be out shooting some more landscape soon. I'll see you then.